get set. Where them hands, where them holes, where them throws, you know what I'm saying? Cecil.
You should check out Dr. David's channel. He's a orthopedic surgeon, and he specializes in sports injuries. I'm going to put a link to his video and channel below. One thing he had talked about that I wanted to bring up in terms of this channel is where he's talking about how much time a child should devote to a sport. Because he said that you need to take this into consideration, because these days a lot of kids just do one sport. You should not have your child at practicing on their own or doing competitions or tournaments for the sports more than their age, or the number of hours they participate in the sport should not be greater than their age. So, for example, if you have a 6-year-old child, let's do Taekwondo. If you have a 6-year-old Taekwondo player, okay, between going to class, practicing, and competitions, it should not be more than 6 hours a week. If they're 12 years old and say they are a judoka, they should not be in practicing at home, or competing in judo tournaments more than 12 hours per week. So now you got a guideline. If you want to know what's the most your child should practice, they shouldn't practice more than that. And me personally, these days, they shouldn't practice more than that, or maybe I would say, I would think no more than 5 or 6 hours a week, because they got homework. So they got to get their homework done. So unless you're homeschooling your kid and then you're going to devote them to the sport, they're not going to have that much time to devote towards their martial arts practice anyway, because they got homework to do. That's why the way I set my classes up, I have 2 places I'm teaching at right now. I don't expect you to come to class more than your designated slot. However, I do suggest that you may want to sign a kid up for both classes, both locations, because quite frankly, I know a lot of kids aren't going to practice. And it's not all their fault. A lot of kids, especially the ones who really do well, they take their martial arts seriously, but they also take their homework seriously. And some schools, man, they just pile on the homework. So there you go. Another thing he brought up in the video was a point of having children play different sports so they can learn different types of movement. Now, you know, I like that idea. That's why I like to have my kids do Taekwondo and Judo, so they can learn different types of movements. And more importantly, so they don't think that they should just hit all the time or kick all the time if somebody attacks them. And they don't think they should just try to grapple and throw and wrestle people down all the time if they're attacked. It's a time to hit. There's a time to kick. There's a time to throw. There's a time to pin. If they get a broader repertoire of stuff to do under stress that they associate with having to fight someone, I believe they won't be always quick to just knock somebody upside the head, or they won't be quick to just try to tackle someone if they have a wide variety of techniques. Not too wide. You're always going to have to favor one more than the other. So with me right now, they favor the Taekwondo more than the Judo. But a lot of the Judo coordination drills, the shrimping, the turning movements and things like that, that's just good basic coordination for sports and life in general. And hey, you know, if you fall, you can slap and you can roll back up. That's going to save you. Speaking of which, someone I know was riding a scooter. He's his judo. And he said he fell off the scooter, did a roll, came back up. His head's okay. He got a little bit of scrape on the arm, a little bit of scrape on the leg. But just think about how much surgery and worse he could have needed if he didn't know how to do a break fall. He didn't know how to roll. So there you go. What else did he say? Oh yeah, one more thing he talked about was burnout. Kids can get burnt out if they're just doing the same sport all the time. And I mean, that can happen with martial arts too. That does happen. You know, I tell people, if you get burnt out with martial arts, just take another style. Don't take the same type of style. I know some people, like, if they fall in love with a karate type of style, they want to do another karate. I don't think you should do that. If you're taking a taekwondo or karate, I don't think you should take a kung fu. I think you should take a judo or jujitsu or some type of grappling. If you do a judo, jujitsu or some type of grappling, I think you should take a taekwondo or karate or kung fu. And if you've done some of those, you should take some boxing. And if you've done that, how about studying a weapon style? Or you know what? There just may be times when you just stop altogether. You don't learn how to paint or something, or sculpt, or sing or play an instrument. Life doesn't have to always be about combativeness. Learn to write a poem. Roses are red and violets are blue. And you can think of other things you can do. Of course, I can rhyme better than that, but okay, so please check out Dr. David's video. I'm going to put a link to it below. It's very good. And now that he's mentioned his book, if I remember, I'm going to go get a copy of it because I think it might be something I could pick up. So, peace.